money cannot lead the change. Get involved with the process. Reach out to the community, and that's social justice. Social justice is when we have some kind of equity for all. It's easier said than done, but it's a process we embarked on 6 years ago, and we are making some kind of inroads to try and get the citizens. We are now working with the UN. UN created something called the Millennium Development Goals. Somebody sitting in a glass house in New York said Millennium Development Goals, there are 8 goals, and we were to achieve them by 2015. Now suddenly the UN's woken up and said, oh, this looks, impossible because we cannot achieve this by 2015. So they pushed the date to 2025. And the last weekend, I said, we'll push the date to 2050. But the point is, a few good people or a few bad people in the UN cannot achieve the Millennium Development Goals. There are 1 billion hungry in the world today. So when the UN cannot do it, who can do it? That was a question which was posed to me. So I said the only way to do it is by encouraging citizen participation in the process. Every citizen has a responsibility to do something, especially in a democracy. Especially in a democracy. And we are supposed to be the world's largest democracy by sheer numbers, the size of numbers. And though China has a higher population than ours, they are not a democracy. But then, there are debates happening that China is better governed. So when they had people who were caught, as corrupt officials during the Olympics, they were made public examples of. People were hanged. Here, people like Kalmadi are going to go scot-free. It's a failure of governance, and who's responsible? I believe that we are responsible. I believe that the citizen is responsible. Bureaucrats and the politicians are not responsible. I was talking to Nandini about what's happening with citizen initiatives. Today, the entire Yamuna in Delhi is being cleaned by citizens. Failure of governance. They've not bothered to do anything about the Yamuna. But the citizens have come together and embarked on a journey to clean the Yamuna. And you can see some progress happening there. And because the citizens have come out as one force, the government has also started taking notice of it and saying, what can we do to improve governance? Gurgaon is a bad example I want to talk about. It is the Millennium City of the World, has gone as the Millennium City of the World in the Guinness Book of World Records for all the wrong reasons. Gurgaon has more malls and no schools. No schools for the great Indian middle class. It was a fight to get my son into school. A fight because most good schools succumb to nepotism. So one call from a minister or a bureaucrat here and there, and you lost your enrollment. And there are not enough schools in Gurgaon, the so-called Millennium City of the world. We don't have power for more than 18 to 20 hours a day. We're mostly on power backup, which is diesel. But there's an awakening happening over there. The citizens have formed something called Iron. Yes, the citizens have formed it because there's a selfish agenda, which is we are suffering. We are paying bills to our teeth. We have no water to drink. Yeah. And very soon, like they say, Gurgaon is such a big city, they say it's twice the size of Calcutta. That one day when you reach a certain critical mass, ship will literally hit the ceiling because poor infrastructure. So the citizens are now saying, what can we do? Because the government is not listening. And Gurgaon is the cash cow of Haryana. Earning so much revenue for that state, but the state is not bothered about it. There are big glass and steel buildings coming up, but nothing being done. And those glass and steel buildings itself are inefficient because the kind of energy that they consume for all the air conditioning. Nobody's doing anything about it. So that's what's happening in Gurgaon, that's what's happening in Delhi. There's an awakening happening in Mumbai, which happened after the terror attack, unfortunately. But my problem with the citizens is that how many times we keep waking them up? Oh, it's not happening. It's like Jago Re, Jago Re, Jago India, Jago Re. Nobody's kind of staying awake, and there's no sustainability in that awakening. The terror attack is forgotten now. After the terror attack, everybody came out in their Gucci's, their Louis Vuittons, and took to the streets with candles. But when it came to the elections, less than 40% went to vote. Delhi had a higher turnout than Bombay. And I was surprised. I thought people in Bombay were more responsible than the people in Delhi. But it's changed. And that's what is happening. I'll come closer to home in Goa, and I am Goan. I'm from a place called Veli, proud to be from Goa. Indian first, of course. But proud because Goa, I believe, is the state from where the first real uprising in India really happened, which was in 1550. And I talk about this with a lot of passion because I come from the same place. I belong to one of the clans. But that's not even in the history books. We don't have 1550 in the history books of India. We have 1857, which was not an uprising, it was drunken stupor. But it's become an uprising. Mangal Pandey was drunken stupor, falsely provoked by a Dalit sweeper who told him that this is what is happening. But the 1550 uprising is nowhere in the books. It's a few people from Goa, historians who've been writing about it, but it's nowhere close to being included in the books. 15, yeah. When all the Gaonkars in Kumboli were killed and dumped into a well. The well is still there. So I come from that place, but over the years I feel that the Goans are not bothered. And I remember 2007 when I came here for Christmas. We normally come for Christmas holidays, and my wife and I bought a place near Vinolaman, so we stayed there. We don't stay at her sister's house in Goa. And we went to Margao shopping, and I saw this two citizens standing on the street with their cards, saying down with the regional plan 2011 and black bands on their hands. I'm very happy to see this activism happening in Goa. The same evening I went to the local pub, met some of my friends, and I was speaking about this very excitedly. And the first reaction, peace Sale. These guys have gone mad. They think they'll be able to stop this. And I tried to argue with them, debate with them, that no, but at least they're doing something to stop it. That was the attitude. And that entire movement, I think, actually got the stay order in the SEZ, if I'm not mistaken. So a few people who came out on the streets managed to get that stay on the SEZs. And the people who sitting in the pubs being, absolutely okay with it, not doing anything, are saying that this guy's gone mad. So people were trying to do something to right wrongs. Unfortunately, I consider to be mad in this country. When my wife came here once alone, she had to kind of get rid of the garbage that was accumulating at home. We stay near this place called Maria Hall in Benaulan, and unfortunately, nowhere around in the vicinity is there a garbage dump where we can go and dump our garbage. The society was handed over to the citizens. Most of the people living in the society are foreigners, so they're never there. And because the society was not being formed, the builder was also not taking care of it. And he stopped the person who was there as the security, so the garbage was not being picked up. And my wife had come here alone with our son, and she had to get rid of the garbage. So she went to this place called Mungod, because there's a garbage dump over there, which is around 2 kilometers away. And all the people of that place which were dumping the garbage ganged up on her and started abusing her. They also did this because they saw a Punjab car registration. Sorry I'm saying this, but we treat outsiders as outsiders. And my son started crying, and she called me, and I was in Delhi. And I said, you know what, just get out of there again. So every time, and then I came in after 3 days, and every time to dump garbage was a challenge. Because we had to go to Margao to dump it, and the other neighbors would tell, just go and dump it in the field. And that's what people are doing. Who's responsible for what is being dumped? Is the government responsible? Yes, the government has not created the infrastructure, but we are dumping it in the fields. That's citizen responsibility. So, simple inherent belief that together as one we can right every wrong. Righting all wrongs are possible if each of us fulfills our social responsibility and understands that we as individuals and citizens have a role to play in governance and participate in